It is a beautiful day. Hello, everyone. JLR Investigates. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. One charge dropped. One person dropped. Two to go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, everyone. Some big news coming out of Tucson, our great 857 Tucson. He's getting his charge dropped. He was charged criminally with public nuisance, and it appears the Pima County District Attorney has come to their senses and know that the charge was absolutely ridiculous and has filed an application to get the charge dropped. It has not been officially dropped, but it is getting dropped. It's getting dropped as predicted. Whoa. So I heard this last night. Shout out to the great Shanna Lee for bringing this to my attention. She was looking at the docket and just saw this pop up. It just popped up. It popped up at the end of the day yesterday and was like, holy smokes, Tucson wasn't even aware of the situation. It's a great feeling. Maybe I'll get Tucson in the chat. Maybe not. He has been posting, but it is not officially dropped at this time. He has court June 30th. June 30th. And he's still going to go. He's still going to go until it officially gets dropped because he's been notified that he has to go to court. I gave him, a little advice too and said, until you officially get notice that this case has been dropped, you should go. Don't not go thinking that, that it was dropped when
The Millers just discovered the sweet sound of earning and saving money on Vinted. They saved extra cash with free shipping on their daughter's toy drum set and sold the clothes she's outgrown with 0 selling fees.
Once Tucson actually goes into the court hearing, then they will officially tell him there that the state is not, or the county is not pursuing with the case. And the judge just says, boom. I'm so happy. I am so happy because I do think it was a public pressure campaign. Nanos is in big trouble, by the way. So, as you know, I've been communicating with Pima County Sheriff Deputy, on the side, feeds me a lot of information, tells me things and everything like that. Nanos, I can share some news. Nanos has been told to back off the YouTubers. It appears Nanos has been told by the Pima County District Attorney's Office, someone within that office told him to leave the YouTubers alone. You know why? Because the Pima County District Attorney is probably reviewing these things and reading these police reports and know that this is absolutely ridiculous of what happened. Already rights have been violated, and probably the Pima County District Attorney knows that Nanos could be facing some civil action here, maybe even disciplinary action for what he's done, targeting YouTubers simply for covering the case of Nancy Guthrie. Now, what does that mean moving forward? Does it mean that YouTubers can go back into Nancy Guthrie's neighborhood and report? I don't know. Do I recommend that? Not necessarily. He could maybe even told to back off. He could say, hey, I am the sheriff in town and I'll do what I want when I want. But he lied to all of us. Sheriff Nanos. Thank you, Kay Miller, for the 20 gifted memberships. As always, great to see you, Kay Miller. Hopefully all is well. It's a beautiful Saturday here in Florida, a little hot. But, the sheriff, Nanos, I'm actually going to put Nanos up on the screen. And I got Ted in the chat, too, the great Ted. Sheriff loses here. He loses here because I remember when the time they said YouTubers got arrested, right? And Nanos gave an interview with one of the local medias, right? And he's talking about more or less that he's consulted with the DA's office and they're more or less on board with these charges. Well, that's not the case. So he's been caught in another lie. Nanos has been caught in another lie. The DA is not on board with these arrests. Now, I don't know what's going to happen with the Juice and Alex. Alex is a different situation, obviously, than Tucson, but Tucson was criminally charged. Now, I know some people say it's a citation. It's a citation. No, a citation. It's technically in Pima County, they can arrest you for nonviolent misdemeanors, but not book you and give you a paper notification for court. If you don't sign it, you go to jail. But it's just a way so they don't have to fill up their jails on low misdemeanors and whatnot. It is a criminal charge. Citation, if it was a citation or anything like that, it would be a fine and rock off. He didn't get a fine. He actually had a court date and has a court date, and would go through the criminal process of public nuisance, which you could face, jail time for if convicted. Now, whether that happened with Tucson, no, but we rallied together. We rallied together to, get him representation. Now, Tucson, we made money off Tucson, supporting him and everything like that, and got him good foundation. Now, he told me his intent here is to use the proceeds to fire back at Pima County. And that would be, if they don't dismiss it, he'll definitely get an attorney to proceed, but they're dismissing the case. So some people might be asking, what is Tucson going to do? What is going to Tucson do? He raised, $8,000 and sort of deal. They want to fire back and get a civil rights attorney and actually do litigation against Pima County with public records requests, FOIA requests, and things like that. So it's going to be used for good use, that I told. And I believe Tucson 100% with that assessment. So it's good. Now, Juice and Alex, they might have to go through the process a little bit, but I think the Pima County District Attorney will also come to their senses on those two and drop the case, or unless they get embarrassed, because we're going to flood the courtrooms and whatnot. Hey, good Ted.
Hey, how's it going? Well, what a great day for our First Amendment rights. We still got a long way of fight to go, but man, this is the best news I've heard in a long time. I am, when Shani broke this, it's just been wonderful. How awesome is this, guys? This is awesome. This is incredible.
It is. It is. And I got told, and it looks like also Chris McDonough is speaking from the interview room about this too. And I think he was told also, see, his sources could be the same sources as mine. Really? There's some, there's some people there within that office I've been communicating with, two in particular, off the record, just talking to me. I mean, they hate nanos, obviously. They're anti-nanos. They're pro for us and everything like that. And Nanos was told to back down. And Chris McDonough's, his sources have told him that too. I'm assuming the source is probably the same as my sources, probably, to back down, lay off YouTubers.
A few days ago, I did hear that too, to lay off YouTubers, and I wasn't sure until you brought this to my attention now. So,
well, he didn't win the court of public opinion on what he's done. As a matter of fact, he stirred the pot and made it much worse than the controversy that he's already facing with a lot of other problems. The gambling stuff is starting to come into light. We're starting to hear a picture of that. Perjury charges over, with him referred over to a prosecutor for perjury charges. Will he get it? I don't know. Just the mishandling and the handling of this Guthrie case in general. And, many people within his office with no confidence of Sheriff Nanos at all. He has zero confidence. So it's just a, compounding of more. Plus, the other day, a swatting incident, they paralyzed. Oh, I'm sorry. They paralyzed, an individual on a swatting call. Just the amounts of litigation that mistreatment in the jails. There's a lot of lawsuits going on. He's just facing a lot of legal problems.
A lot of pressure.
And I think the district attorney's office came to their senses with this, because they just don't want more, or even the board of supervisors. They just don't want more financial liability on Nanos for everything in general. And this would probably be including the YouTubers, because the YouTubers, all three of them, have First Amendment rights to cover and broadcast Nancy Guthrie's case. And, under public nuisance, or with the Juice putting his chair in the road, is absolutely ridiculous in general. So
what does this mean? So what does this mean for us now? I know we got a few more to go until we're scot-free, but does this mean we can get back out there and start spreading the word, getting the name out there? Or I guess we have a little bit of a road to do still, but.
Well, that's a great question. Some people are like, JLR, go back to the house. I mean, is it wise to go back to the house with this? That's why I kind of wanted to talk to all of you about this while we're in here. Like, what is our next objective? Does that mean, is that going to embolden us to go back out there?
Right. Yeah.
Should we go back out there, or should we just kind of like know that what he's done, but know that he might be able to be held accountable now and then for what he's done civilly? Though, let me just make this clear too, with this, civil rights violation and false arrest and whatnot. That's a hard hurdle to overcome when it comes to against law enforcement, because the sovereign and qualified immunity, not necessarily you win, but you definitely be a financial headache towards them. Especially if you get a First Amendment lawyer to take the case pro bono, which some I'm hearing might be willing to do, but would have to cover a lot of the paperwork aspect of the drafting of the motions, the ink and the print.
We were wondering if Blue Chew Gold was worth the upgrade, but after the night we just had, he is not going back to the generic stuff. Watching him take.
But you are on the hook for that other type of stuff.
Do you know if I'm allowed, like in July 2nd's Alex's court date, correct?
Alex's court date's July 2nd, yes.
Would I be able to appear there, or would that be a closed court date?
You can appear.
Because I am trying, when my next paycheck hits, I would like to, I don't have plans for that weekend or that week, and I would love to appear on his behalf and just be in the background. Do you think that would do good, or do you think that would...
It would absolutely do good. It would absolutely do good. Matter of fact, I vow, if the DA dares to take the other two all the way to trial, because the other two have said they're fighting, and I totally agree on board. There's no plea. There's no negotiation here of anything, because then you're acknowledging some sort of wrongdoing, and you have no civil remedy. What's not, down the line. Even if you plead guilty to one of the most minor of the charges, whatever like that, you're not going to get any civil remedy at that point, because you've accepted some sorts of, responsibility in that sense. You don't have that civil remedy. However, if they go to trial and the DA dares to take the trial all the way through, then, and I don't think the DA is going to do that, just the whole dynamics, the subpoenas, the interrogatories and different things, that the defense and the discovery and whatnot, I don't see them doing it. I just don't see them doing it, because it's going to be direct orders from Nanos, and it's probably going to be these deputies did not want to do this, but were told by chain of command to do it. And that just opens up who told them and why are you doing select enforcement and targeting these particular YouTubers. And then First Amendment comes into play. They don't want to get that out there in trial. They really don't. So I feel like the DA might try to stretch this out maybe a little bit to try to get, particularly Alex, because Alex, wilding out, and, what Alex is Alex. They might try to, coerce up Alex into, pleading guilty to something like that. But if it goes to trial, I think we all should flood the courtrooms.
Do you typically know how long that July 2nd?
It's just an arraignment.
And typically how long, and apologize me for asking, but how long would an arraignment go?
5 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Not long. Okay. That's why I don't think it's important for me to go to these early stages court hearings for everybody. Okay. But I mean, basically as well, Alex down the line, does Alex get a preliminary hearing because the fact that he's charged with a resisting arrest? That's a great question. I'm not sure. But down the line, if they go to the trial and everything like that, I think we should definitely go in support of Alex and the Juice. But I think Juice is going to get, his is going to get dismissed before Alex, and Alex will be the last one. And then we can all of us can just focus on Alex down the line.
Because
that's where I feel like it's going.
Yeah, because I was looking at super affordable flights. It's a lot cheaper to fly into Phoenix, Sky Harbor, and then driving down instead of taking like a double flight or connecting flight. And then I just feel like then I could piggyback off of going to the Pima County police station after he has his first hearing, kind of celebrating 857's dismissal, bringing posters there, and kind of just being there. Again, I'm not trying to stir the pot with law enforcement. I'm just trying to bring awareness to our First Amendment right, because if we don't do that, all the soldiers in the military that have fought for our freedom, I think it's so important. And I'd love to be there for it. And I don't have plans for the 4th of July. So just going to be me, myself, and I. So I feel like kind of responsible to get down there. I just got to make sure cost-effective reasons. So,
some of the comments we got here, like by Frank from Finance, just because it got dropped doesn't mean he didn't suffer harm. The arrest is still in his record. He still needs an attorney. And that is 100% true. And that's what Tucson told me. That's what his goal at this point, because I know a lot of people contributed. I know a lot of people, we all rallied, and he's going to use those proceeds to civilly, get some civil remedy from this situation, because, just his name was put out there, the embarrassment, the humiliation. He did nothing wrong. Nothing. Right. He's not a public nuisance at all. So where do you even justify the public nuisance on that? Frank says 857 still needs an attorney for his civil suits. So go ahead.
I was going to say, do you know when the Juice's arraignment is?
That's a great question. I do not know the Juices. Does anyone know when the Juice is supposed to go? Lisa's like, let's take donations for Ted and JLR to go support Alex, hotel and flight. Well, I was ready to go out there for Derek Colella. Anything's possible. But Alex is going to be supported there that day anyway. I know Juanita plans to go, and I think Lauren might go. I'm not so sure. But you want to go? Maybe
I definitely want to go. I've been planning on it the last few weeks. When I found out, my 4th of July status and what I have to do, and find out, about Alex. When I knew it was July 2nd, it was almost like a perfect time for me to get back out there.
Would you be willing to hold a sign that says "Free Alex" outside the courthouse?
Oh, 100%, 1000%. Yeah. My handwriting's a little bad, so if I could have somebody meet me there and make it all like real, proper, because I'm kind of like chicken scratch a little bit. Like, I would love someone to, like, if someone could help me out while they're there and just draw it for me. I'd stand out there for 15 hours and do it.
Juanita, shoot me a email, and I'll bring you up in the chat. Juanita says that Juice
we love Juanita.
7/13/2026. Juanita, if you're out there, shoot me an email. Tips at
and JLR. I want to meet the Juices too. The Juice, I want to be out there for all of them. Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe we'll get you out there. I have an obligation I'm doing on the 4th. I'm going somewhere else opposite of the country on the 4th, but I still have availability on the 2nd, 1st, and 2nd. So, but the thing about it was with Alex, it's really quick. It's really quick. It's just basically an arraignment kind of thing. They could, they very well could drop his charges too on the 2nd. We just don't.
Oh my God. Can you think of that? That'd be absolutely wonderful. But yeah, no, I definitely want to get out there on that time. Again, I know you've stated you've had things to do on the 4th. So, that'd be challenging, and you have to take connecting flights, right? It gets a little bit kind of hard to navigate with,
not necessarily. Phoenix is direct wherever.
Oh, Phoenix. Yeah. If you wanted me to drive you down from Phoenix,
drive the hour and a half. It's not really.
I can drive you down the hour and a half. You know how great of a driver I am. So I'll get us there.
All right. Well, you're making me look on Expedia right now. Or Priceline for flights. Yeah, but my fear is Nanos is going to be like, "Welcome to Tucson, JLR. Cuff up." At the airport, Nanos is like, "I've been waiting for you, JLR."
Yeah.
There's a warrant out for you or something crazy that he has in the pipeline or something like that for me. Stuff like that.
Well, don't worry. I'll bring my buddy Dustin Poirier to come with us.
I just heard what he did at the airport, right?
Yeah. And look at how good the cops respected him. And he was saying, "Come on, bang up, let's go." And they arrested him fine. Like, he, for how he was acting.
I'm glad this is good for Tucson.
Me too.
But I've spoken to him offline all the time, and we've been 100. I've been out of the most confident out of all of them. Tucson, I was the most confident out of all of them, because I think they just targeted him. They had their eyes on Juice because he's already been out there, so it was a second go around for Juice. You know what I mean? And Nano's trying to flex his muscles and try to say, "Oh, I give him citations at first," or and if they continue, we'll go with arrests and things like that. So I think they had to do Tucson because he's standing there with the Juice, and if they just do Juice and take him on the cuffs, and there would be even bigger backlash on them for taking a man away. And
snap a photo, list your item. Easy. Once it sells, the buyer covers shipping. And with zero seller fees, you keep every dollar you earn.
Less clutter in your home, more money in your pocket.
With millions of users and low cost for your buyers, it's easy to start selling and earning. Start selling on Vinted today.
We can, now I'm messing around here. Yeah, let's get this going. Do you know the flights for Expedia? I mean, are they pretty costly right now, last minute? I can imagine July 4th.
Well, that's another factor. Let me just put Phoenix right here. Where's Tucson? If you're out there, come in the chat, or Juanita.
Come on in the chat. And JLR, if you need a ride, I have a car that's pretty brand new. I can get you out to Tucson, where you rent a car then from Tucson. Or, I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. I mean, airport renting cars are all the same.
Yeah. Let me look here. Let me just look, kind of understand and look and everything like that. Oh, so there's another situation here. I put on Twitter. Some wackadoodle here is claiming that he knows where this guy's been floating around in all the Guthrie groups. This guy's claiming, and he wrote a letter to Savannah, and he's claiming he knows where Nancy is. And this guy right here by the name of Greg Carr, he's making posts. He's posting his postage. He sent. This is the wackadoodle country, I think. I don't know, man. But this guy's like biblical guy claims that he knows where Nancy is, and then he wrote a letter. He wrote a letter to Savannah. So, he says, please help me to contact Savannah Guthrie concerning her mother, Nancy Guthrie, who was kidnapped several months ago. There are copies of the certified letters that I sent to Miss Guthrie, which she has apparently not received. God has revealed to me where her mother is and who kidnapped her. Please share this posting if you believe my words until this posting reaches her. Consider the fact that this miracle will bring great glory to the God of the Bible. I went to the local FBI headquarters in Lafayette, Louisiana, and I was told I could not see anyone without an appointment. I called to make an appointment, and they never called me back. I called again.
Never calling back is a telltale sign, in my opinion.
Right? I called again, and they never called back. I reached out to the FBI tip line in the middle of the conversation. Before I was finished speaking to the gentleman, he hung up on me because he hung up on me before he hung up on me. He said thanks and then hung up. Now you know why I am reaching out directly to Savannah Guthrie.
You should reach out to TMZ. Maybe they would listen.
I know, but this guy here, hold on, let me put this thing. I actually posted the letter that he says he sent to Savannah. So he's bugging Savannah.
Oh man, this guy.
Pretty wild. Let me go here on this is my X account. And here's the letter. By the way, here's Tommaso laying with books of animals. He wrote this letter. To Savannah. Let me just move this so I can show everybody. A lot of times in these situations, as we discussed, the wackadoodles come out of the woodwork. These crazy. And he goes, Savannah Guthrie, my name is Greg Kerr. Greg Kerr. I'm on one of your videos. On one of your videos, you said if you know something, find a way to contact me. You said you believed in miracles. God heard your prayers over a period of days, has shown me who took your mother and where she is being held. Before you contact me personally, Google Greg Kerr, Louisiana at gregkerrministries.com so you know who you are dealing with. I have every reason to believe your mother is alive.
Really? Wow. This is wackadoodle. We're not even on wackadoodle Wednesday.
Imagine Savannah actually getting this letter. He claims that she's not receiving his letters, but that's some crazy stuff, man. There's some crazy people out there. I don't believe this guy. I mean,
I don't either. Yeah, I reached
out to him.
I could throw him.